Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm talking a little bit quieter as I'm in the garden, but it's just too nice to sort of like do it this beer review indoors. I've turned the air conditioning off in the Spencer Arms and I've opened the door just simply because I don't want it to start getting really warm in there. But anyway, I want to talk to you about the same beer, but not the same beer. Now these are empty bottles what I had last night, because the bottles that I want to talk to you about, or the beer I want to talk to you about, is in the fridge at the minute and I don't want to get it out, spend 5 minutes waffling onto you and then the beer warm up. I've got the Staropramen, I say it wrong every time, Staropramen glasses also in the fridge, chilling out nicely. But anyway, so I'm not going to lie, the reason I know about these is because I've seen Simon from the Real Ale Craft Beer channel review these, like basically Lidl, you've done it again, and basically proper Czech brewed from Prague Staropramen against the British brewed one. Now I like Staropramen, I do, and that's the reason why I've got the glasses. I've got probably two or three pint glasses. Me, you know me, I'm not one for having too much of the glassware usually. I like my glasses I can have various different beers in. But I've actually got Staropramen glasses and they live up the house. And I use them just for various drinks, orange juice, whatever, because I've not had one of these for ages, since I sort of found out all these different beers are brewed in the UK, and I've learnt over the years. I've sort of like thought, no, you know what? I don't really. I want to have more of the proper. That's why I drink the Budvar as well, because that is brewed proper. That's brewed in the Czech Republic, isn't it? And you know, and all the proper beers are brewed where they should be brewed. But I've got to say that Staropramen is still one I do really enjoy, but I don't buy it in the bottle. I normally will have it if I'm out and it's sunny, and especially if I go to the Old Horse in Leicester, they have it on draft and it's a really cold, it's really nice, and it is, the British brewed one is really nice. Now the funny thing is, it says on the back here, brewed since 1869, when they were founded. Like, they were founded in 1869, and the brand name Staropramen simply means old spring, so like spring water. So straight away, the first thing that hit me before I even watched Simon is this is going to have some nicer water than what this is. And I'm not sort of quoting anything that he said, although I will be, because I have the same opinion. I knew that when he was drinking them, that like it's going to be, because it's going to be about the water difference. And I always bang on, if you watch my videos regularly when they come out, especially with the German beers, I always bang on about the water quality, and how if you have a German beer, the water quality is absolutely fantastic. You know, I can drink 5 or 6 German beers and get up the next morning feeling fresh as a daisy, like I've been cleansed. It's all about that water quality. So anyway, so back to this. So the British brewed one, I do actually like, I enjoy it. It's one of them, like, I wouldn't have a Stella, I wouldn't have a Carlin. I've never been a Carlin boy anyway, never, but I used to have Stella. And I wouldn't touch any of that Madrid stuff or any of the crew camps or whatever it's called, because I know since they've come out that they're just British brewed sort of beers. Now this has got a lot of writing on the back. It says, brewed since 1869, when 2 visionary brewmasters set out to create a beer that would be better than the rest. Displaying true craftsmanship, Staropramen is brewed with passion, using the finest ingredients, including premium Czech hops, which probably SARS, and embodies the spirit of Prague in every sip, coming in at 5% ABV. This on the back, it just says, #1 Prague beer in the world. Great taste, guaranteed by our brewmasters. Staropramen Premium, 5%. And then it's got some other things on. Now, Molson Coors. I've actually been working at Molson Coors a few weeks back. I did about 2 weeks work there. We're doing all the museum, and we was replacing all the windows and things. I wasn't allowed to take any photos, share it on social media or anything. It would have got me in big trouble. It was part of the induction. But I worked at Molson Coors for a few weeks. It was very interesting. So this, you know, Staropramen is owned by Molson Coors, and Molson Coors have imported this in, and Lidl have got this in, £1.79 for a 500 milliliter. This is a 660 milliliter, £2.50, all from Tesco's, or part of the 3 for £6, so essentially £2, but it is a 650 milliliter. But £1.79 for that, and that's the proper one. Now, I've already drank these last night, so I know what I'm up against. But I've got them both in the fridge, and also as well, like, this is imported. I think it says this is exported to 37 countries around the world. So why are we still drinking this in Great over the Britain? You know what I mean? Why ain't we got it? Well, we have now because Lidl's brought it to us, which is really interesting. And you know, but everything looks sort of the same. You know, perfectly balanced. And this one's like known for its balanced taste. You know, so here it is. I mean, it's obviously brewed under license. It's obviously allowed to be brewed. But yeah, it's just a bit, and I don't really want to, it's really weird because you don't really want to start like shutting down UK breweries that are brewing all these like things. But you know, they should just brew some yourself and call it something. But anyway, let's get them out. So I'll be back in a second. Boom. So here we are. Look at these babies. So these are quite old. They're actually quite probably like a little bit worn. But it's sunny. It's been beautiful. It is now like 8:45 of an evening, and I'm looking forward to drinking these lagers. So regardless of whether or not this is going to be of interest to you, it's beautiful because I'm going to be enjoying drinking these lagers. And to be honest with you, even though I've had them both last night, so I know that one's better than the other. I'm not telling you which one. I know that one's better than the other. I'm still going to enjoy them both because I'm not being funny. It's all right, you know what I mean? So we'll start with the British brewed one. Now, I'm not going to start like making them display and everything and all this and put them on the side. I'm just going to pour it. So this is going to give me quite a fair bit in this glass. Now, these glasses, like I say, have been cupboard stored for ages, and I have cleaned them, I have washed them, but they've not gone through the regeneration thing, but they still should be clean. Right, so the first thing I'm just going to say to you about that is when I pour that, it's got a nice, so there is a nucleation point at the bottom of this glass as well. So Staropramen glass, nucleation point. It's a lovely looking beer, it really is, and it smells nice. You can smell it. You know, it has got that nice clean hoppy smell, nice malty sweet balance. It is a well balanced beer. It is lovely. It really is. It's got a nice head, but quite a sort of fizzy foam head, if you get me. Now, the only reason I'm saying that is because I know what the head's coming from the next one, right? So I'm just going to have a good sip of that so then I can pour the rest of that in because it's hot and I'm being ready for this. My mouth is salivating, you know what I mean? And I've actually got me wrong glasses on because I've lost my other glasses where I can see over the top. So when I put these on, I can't see anything really. I'm just talking to, and I have to wear them like that, and then I look like my dad, you know. But anyway, so cheers everybody. Let's get this one down here for a minute. Oh, now I'm not going to lie, that is nice. I like that. And on a nice hot summer day, it's almost reignited. It's almost reignited me to buy. I've not bought this for absolutely ages. I've only drank it in a pub, so I'm going to make sure that don't fall off. Now then, I think you're going to see now. Now I've sort of like dropped myself in it here because I'm telling you that they're. You know, I'm not saying which one's going to be better than the other, but I've sort of like. So this is the bottle top of the proper one, and this is the bottle top of the British brewed one. Both nice bottle tops. Now I think you'll see a noticeable difference because I did. So when I poured this out, I did see a noticeable difference in the head of the beer. It just seems a little bit more fuller, a little bit more, probably just a little bit more thicker. Not a lot, it's still got them sort of like finey bubbles. Now the beer in the glass, they look the same. Now Simon did say, now the thing is, I'm not going to deny I've watched Simon reviewing this. It was a fantastic review and I love watching his reviews. I can't remember what he said, which one, if that one's got a little bit of frosting on the glass, but one of them he said did look a bit lighter than the other or a bit darker. Now for me, looking at that up in the light, the actual British brewed one here looks slightly darker to me. It does. I can't remember which one he said, but this looks slightly darker. But I just know that this, trust me, right? So I'm gonna get, so that's out there. Like I say, both coming in at 5%. So I'm gonna get another good swig of this down me. So, so swilling it round my mouth. One of the things that you do notice is with British brewed sort of lagers is you get that. I don't want to sort of like say that like farted, but you just get that, and also I don't want to just like completely quote what Simon says all the while, but it's true. When I was watching it, I knew, I was like, yeah, I can imagine you saying that. And I know you're just saying it as I would expect it. You do get that sort of really sort of like it says, Burtony water. You get that sort of taste, that not the right bitter taste, but you get like almost like, it's almost like a skunky taste, but not, that's how I describe it. It's not a skunky taste like where you've had light strike or anything like that. You just get that like British lagery taste, if you know what I mean. Unless like it's a crafted, like, you know, like a Braybrook or Utopian, even the lagers that Verdant do now, and lots of other, Cloudwater even, you know, you find that their water, they've done something with their water, it's a bit better, it's a bit nicer. But this is quite, when I go down south, we used to go down south, I would literally like drink the water there and I'd be bunged up, and I could tell the difference. And then you get a bit more north. The more north you go, the cup of teas mash better. So you find that down south you don't get that quite as good a mash of tea as you do up north because of the water quality. So this is, yeah, it's got that, it's lovely, I like it, I really do like this. But it has got that sort of like lagery, British lagery, skunk sort of kick from the water. And you know, like when I drink a German lager or I drink Budvar as a Czech lager, oh, it's just phenomenal. So as this has settled down now, the head's dissipated a little bit, but you can just see a real naturalness in the head. It's hard to show, but it just looks a better quality head than what this is. Just a bit thinner. This just looks like a little bit more held together, a bit more creamier. So right, so let's get into this. Cheers, everybody. It's instantly night and day. It is the level of, it's just so shocking. It's like, I'm not saying that this one is bad at all. Far from it. I like Staropramen, and Simon says the same. He drinks it. There's nothing. It's not like if I was drinking a British brewed Stella, I'd be like, oh God, this is awful. You know, but it's not. Staropramen, British brewed Staropramen is okay, but the water is just nothing like what this is. And you're talking Staropramen means old spring. And you're talking that they're probably bored down, got some of the real naturally spring water with all their minerals that are sorting it all out. And you can, the difference in the flavours you can get from there, you're actually getting that sort of spiciness, sort of like flavour from the hop. You're getting a nice sweet balance from the malts that you can really taste. The British brewed one, you just get a bit more of the sort of like that skunky. I mean, Beer Monster, Adam, he calls it like farty, but I know what he means. It's like look, Simon said earthy. It's more earthy. I don't mind earthiness. I like that grassy type of taste in beers and things when you get that type of everything. But it's like a bit of a dry, skunky. It's very difficult to describe, but it's very. Yeah, it's not as clean. It's just not as clean. Whereas this is softer, it's cleaner. The malt bill that you get from that, nice biscuity malts that you can get from that, really, really does shine through in comparison to the British brewed one. I'm still trying to work out which one. I suppose now, looking in the glass now, it's hard to say because they've got different levels of You know, put in the comments which one you think. This is the British brewed one. This is the Czech one. They're sort of looking the same now, but this, I think the Czech brewed one does look lighter. This one does look a little bit more, you know, it's probably, I'd say, looking at that, the British brewed one, it probably looks like it's a bit more malty. Excuse me. Now, as far as the carbonation levels go, good levels of carbonation, but it does fill your mouth up quite quickly. Oh, it's just so much softer, so much nicer, so much so the flavours are there. You can really get the hop flavour in that. It really does come through like that nice, yeah, fresh. There is a spice in there. There is like a spiciness, but then it is balanced with the malts, and you can get all them flavours because you're not being skunkatized by the hardness of the water. I mean, there is this thing that I hear it all the time about like it's Burtonized, like the Burton water. I mean, people used to say to me, "Oh, you can tell it's brewed great because it's brewed in Burton, you know, with a water. It's brilliant." But like when you've drank sort of like different types of beers with different types of spring waters and different type of natural with the different minerals and things that go on filtering the rocks that filter these water out. Honestly, you get like an Augustina Helles beer, and you drink that, it is so clean and so fresh. It's almost like you could drink that as a hangover cure. You know, it's absolutely phenomenal. So head retention wise, you know, I mean, okay, you know, you're not expecting to have a big foamy head stay there, but I always expect my head of my beer to stay all the way down the glass, never lose it, even if it's only just a thin layer of foam. So both them beers now are looking like they've got similar sort of head retention. I don't think this is not suffering as a complete and utter loss against this, not at all. The carbonation rising from the nucleation point seems about the same. The colour's fairly similar. The beer and its taste is you're just not getting as much hop character in that. You're just getting so much more hop character in this one. You really are getting that noble hop come shining through there. And then as you leave it on the back, the malts just, as all that goes, you literally get that. You get that like biscuity malt taste in your mouth, which is really quite nice. This is a different level of Staropramen. I've never ever had a proper Staropramen from the Czech Republic. Well, you know, over in Prague there, until yesterday and until now, and it's making me want to actually have this as one of my like go-to beers. Now, I know that this weekend I'm going to be working all weekend, and I've got a project to do, and I want to get it finished. Excuse me. And by the time England play on Sunday, excuse me, belching, I want to be at a position to be reaping my rewards for working so hard and chilling out, drinking a beer when the England game's on. So it's going to be hot, it's going to be warm, and my beer to go to all the time is Budvar, because I don't really want to session. I don't really want to go and grab a load of German beers and really, like, I just like to session Budvar. It's 5%. It's easily available. I don't want to sort of like have to, you know, order a load of German beers just to have a session on them. I rather sit down and really enjoy the German beers. I don't mean that disrespectful to Budvar, but what I mean is Budvar is one of those. It's a really crisp, refreshing, great, lovely beer to just sort of session even at 5%, and it's just brilliant. And you can go to supermarkets to get it's a supermarket beer. Lidl have it now. They have it in for £1.79 as well at the minute. Lidl have it. So, you know, you can get it. I don't know about Sainsbury's, but like you can get it everywhere. You know what I mean? You can't just walk into a supermarket and get an Augustina Helles or Augustina Hell, whatever you want to call it. If you could, then I'd be doing that as well as. But do you know what? I think I'm going to mix and match now. Now we can go in and get this Staropramen here from, you know, from the Czech Republic. I think I'm going to mix and match. I think I will be buying these. Well, in fact, I have done. I've got like a fridge now full of Budvar and these, so to enjoy on Sunday. Anyway, right, so a final thing then. Let's have a good swig of this. Let's get this taste in my mouth before I go back to this. Yeah, it's more natural flavours. There's nothing disguising there's nothing disguising the flavours in that. So the malts are so biscuity. Really get that. You really get that proper nice, like nice pale sort of like pale malt in there. There's just been sort of like dried enough to just give that really nice sort of slightly toasty biscuity. It's really there. It's so there. But then you're getting all that. You are getting like a hit from the hops as well. And there's a slight bitterness there. Leaves you hanging out for more, that does. There's flavours in that I've never tasted before in this, never. There's nothing hiding the flavours in that. That's all in naturel. That just tastes natural. Tastes pretty amazing actually. I'm pretty impressed with that. I think one of the next beers, one of the next things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get this Czech Staropramen, a Budvar, and a Pilsner Urquell, and yeah, get all them three side by side. But you know what? I think they'll all just be having a little battle between themselves, but they'll all like put their hands up in the air, and they'll all be winners because they're all just slightly different. But they're all great. I don't think you go wrong having a Staropramen, a Budvar or a Pilsner Urquell. You know, they're all supermarket beers that you can buy, but they're all brewed in the proper place and they all taste bloody fantastic, and they're all really reasonably priced, you know what I mean? So yeah, brilliant hit of malts and the hops, everything. Yeah, you got spice, just a very slight bitterness, little tingle on your tongue, just leaves that biscuit malt note right at the back. You're really getting the flavours out of that like I've never had before. Oh God, the British brewed one now. Jeez. Wow. It's a little bit like one of those, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. And all of a sudden, if Lidl stopped bringing this in and I had to go back to this, I'd always have that. I'd always have that experience. You know what I mean? Oh God, I've been there now. I can't go back. Right, what I'm going to do, if you want to bear with me, I'm going to finish this, and I'll like just skip through me drinking this, or I'll speed it or whatever. But I want to finish all this. Really get this swilling around my mouth, really get the flavours in this, really understand the flavours and really lock it in, and then I'm going to go back to the British brewed one to see just how indifferent it is. There's different ways to taste beer. You swill it around your mouth, that gives you a good level of the carbonation, because if it's over carbonated it'll swell your mouth up. You know, if you have a beer that's just sort of a bit CO2 carbonated, it'll literally swell your mouth up almost to the point where it'll be over pressurized and you got to swallow it or spit it out. Don't spit your beer out, that's wasteful. If it's naturally carbonated, you just feel that softness going around your mouth, like a bubble bath sort of feeling around your mouth, if you know what I mean. It's the difference between Sainsbury's own bubble bath or Mr. Matey, you know what I mean? So you probably got like Sainsbury's own bubble bath, Mr. Matey, you know, softer, sweeter, better on your skin, and all that. I always bath with Mr. Matey. Yes, guarantee to keep your skin soft. Now, I'm not being paid to promote Mr. Matey, but you know, you never know. There's Mrs. Matey as well. She's all right. Get her in the bath. She's fine. beautiful, soft, lovely, fresh, clean. Oh, it's just it's just great. It's really, I really like that now. Then biscuit malts are amazing. Really is. Like, I'm just trying to think even what biscuit tastes like. Everybody likes a biscuit, don't they? I really like caramel. So I really like the toffee and caramel molasses flavours in beers. Excuse me, I really do. But I also like them nice, sort of like bittery, dry sort of biscuit flavours as well. Not the crackery type of biscuit, but more that Moorishy biscuit. This is coming in almost like a, no, I'm not going to say digestive or anything. It's not that sweet. I can taste it as well. But anyway, but look, so I've done well with the glasses clean. You should never lose your head on your beer, ever. Trust me, if you're losing your head on the beer, there's two reasons for that. One, the beer is absolute shockingly crap, or two, your glasses ain't clean enough. And call me what you want, slag me off, do whatever you want, but that's the facts of the matter. Right down to the bottom. Oh. Drinking it a little bit faster, you get the hops. I always find if you throw a beer down your neck, if you drink it and let it go straight down, you'll get a different flavour than if you swirl it around your mouth and let it like just slowly go down. Oh, that's great. I mean, you're getting everything there. The hops, the balance from the malts, the cleanliness of the water. That's the thing, the water. It's all, beer is, what is it, 95% water? And honestly, I just think really, you know, this is why the Germans, under the purity law, of 4 ingredients: barley, yeast, hops, water. That's why their beer is so fantastic, because the water, which is the main ingredients in the beer, is phenomenal. You know what I mean? This is why a lot of home brewers suffer with trying to brew, because we're just using tap water, aren't we? You know, I mean, even with whiskey brewing, we went to a whiskey distillery and they've bored a 250 metre deep hole to get the water, you know. You know, they do use tap water. You can use tap water. I know there is a brewery out there, I can't think it is, and they literally neutralise the water. They zero it and then they do pH it to whatever they want. It's a science, you know. But basically, you know, home brewers, I mean, I'm not a home brewer, I ain't got a clue. I won't have a first clue, well, a little bit of a clue, but like basically, like, I'll be using water out the tap and my beer will be rubbish, and then someone will say to me, you got to do this, you got to bomb it, you got to chemical it, you got to do whatever. But whatever you're doing to that water, you're changing that water unnaturally. Whereas when you're getting a natural spring from under the ground, you ain't got to do nothing to that water. That water is being used to brew the beer all by itself, exactly how it came out of the ground, you know, and that is what makes it phenomenal. Now, what I've been left with this beer is a lovely smooth palate, something that's really smooth and like a creamy biscuit, as if you've had the biscuit malts that are really creamy. You know, if you have a biscuit and it does leave that where you don't need any drink with the biscuit because it's so creamy itself. That's what I'm getting from that malt. Anyway, crikey, it's a totally different beer. It's so far removed. Oh. Do you know what? I tell you what it's like. It's like having two cars exactly the same. It's like, do you know what, mate? I've got a Ford Fiesta, a 1984 Ford Fiesta. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And someone turns around to you and says, I've got a 1984 Ford Fiesta. But what you've done to yours is you've modernised it. You've done this and that to it. Well, this is the original. Drive that. And you drive it and you're like, whoa, this is fantastic. Then you get back in your own car and you're like, oh, this don't seem as good now. So now I've drank the pure one. This one just does not seem as good. Oh, God, it's almost out. It's almost like I can taste the alcohol now. It's only 5%. Crikey, I drink 10% beers at midnight. It's almost like crashing. Where I says to you, in order to get the hops, a quick crash down the neck, so you don't get enough time for the multi-balance to hang around your tongue, and you get more the. It's what it is as you throw it down your neck. It's almost like it goes up in your nose, so you get the aromas going in your nose, and it senses the hops a little bit more. That's a good tip. That is, like like drinking it and swallowing it straight away will give you a bit more hop profile, in my opinion. But oh my god, that is just, when that goes down my neck, I literally got some alcohol taste there. That is an absolutely, totally and utterly different beer now to what I've ever drank. So you know what this is going to teach me now is, Lidl, thank you very much for stocking this, and at £1.79, it's like a premium beer at budget price. You know, when you think that we're paying £5, £6, £7 for beers, you know, if you want an afternoon's worth of drinking in the sunshine, that's drinking premium beer on a budget. It's like Budvar, premium beer on a budget. Pilsner Urquell, premium beer on a budget. Anyway, look, the British brewed Staropramen is still holding out on its head, but oh my god, I can honestly tell you now, whilst this is still available in Lidl, I will not be touching this British brewed one again. As long as this is still around, this one is dead and buried. You know, so, but I just think that I just felt like, as a beer reviewer, I needed to bring this to you, because there's a small amount of people that will probably watch this. There's thousands of people are watching Simon, but there's a small amount of people that watch this who'll go, you know, Spenno, thanks for that. Thank you. And I'm lucky enough to be involved with a radio station as well, with Ireland Radio, that I can like I can put a bulletin on that, and that'll play throughout the radio. And that goes out to 17 countries around the world. So you must listen to that. It's Ireland Radio. It's on Mixcloud. And you must know that from me doing what I'm doing. And follow the podcast as well, Ireland Audio. All beer and pub shed related stuff. So yeah, anyway, so I've been Spenno, and this has been a very long review, a long Spenno waffle chat. But I just hope now that you're going to run out to Lidl and buy this beer and bloody well enjoy it. And while you're there, pick up some of the Budvar at £1.79 as well, because you'd be foolish not to. Right, cheers everybody. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a really great weekend. This should be out just in time to say this Sunday, England are playing. Give it the best. So get behind the team. Come on, let's be like the Scots. Let's not cause trouble. Let's have a laugh. Let's have a big wave for our team, and get behind the team. Get behind Southgate. I know he's very safe. I know he's a bit of a, you know, he's a bit wet behind the ears or whatever. But you know, let's support England and let's be friendly and kind, and let's get through it. And you know, you never know, we might win. You never know. Right. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. They think it's all over. It is now. Cheers for watching.